Okay, so today is the 18th of November 2011, and I'm standing right at the edge of Island Park Beach on Park Avenue. If I turn to my left, that's Park Avenue to my left, and that would be Park Avenue to my right. Directly across from me is where the old town dump used to be. I believe it was a town dump between 1950 and 1973. They've made some changes around here recently since I was a kid. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, when I was a kid, this was full of like lots of tall weeds and pussy willows and those kinds of things, and we used to play in here. There's a rope swing in here and all kinds of things. So I moved to this neighborhood when I was 10 years old, and I probably played in here until I was about 15. So what you see is this was once a dump. Now, the reason why I'm walking in here and making this video is because they decided that the soil here needed a cap. For various reasons. There's apparently arsenic and other chemicals in the soil here as we speak, and the where I'm walking on sort of ends here. I'm not sure how much I really want my feet to be touching the soil, so let me explain. So there's apparently chemicals here, as it was a dump, and there's apparently arsenic here that I guess not an arsenic specialist is supposed to eat away at the garbage that's in the ground. So they decided they needed to put a clean fill cap here. See how they're working on it? And this was supposed to be 5 feet of clean dirt full of something like called naturally occurring arsenic or some type of natural arsenic levels. And the company that owns this, they felt that doing a clean fill cap 5 feet tall was too expensive for them. So instead, they're gonna do a 2 foot cap, and it's not going to be what it was originally asked to be. It's not going to be this clean stuff with supposedly some natural arsenic, whatever that may be. It's dirt brought in from somewhere else. Now, one of the local tenants was so frustrated that they decided to follow the trucks that were bringing in some strange, black, smelly. Now, you saw where the beach is. Now I'm going to aim back from where we started. That's the beach right there where those telephone poles are. And then on the other side here, moving forward, is the wetlands. And the wetlands go from here, probably over here, and then here, all the way to the wetlands are all along the side here. So what happens is, when the water comes over that seawall in a storm, especially something like a hurricane, it would flow this way through all these like little inlets and things that I take my kayak through. It's like, you know, a lot of fish and birds and whatnot in there, and it would, you know, it would flow back. If you get all the way back over here, that's the other part. That's the hummus. Walking forward here, and, you know, I'm pretty sure have on at this point. I feel like well, here's some evidence of them capping it. This is what must be considered, this looks to me like it might be a 2 foot cap. I don't know, that dirt looks darker, as I've heard, and I heard the dirt is dark and that the smell wafts through Island Park when it's being brought in. And I also understand that the gentleman who was fed up with this disgusting dirt being brought into our wetlands and ocean followed the trucks bringing it in, and they followed the trucks to a gas station that that was being removed, where the gas tanks were old and had leaked into the soil. Also, probably more importantly, and this happened before that, was this was deemed to be a commercial area. They wanted to start putting arsenic in here. They were told that the levels of arsenic were too high for the zoning. And they had it rezoned a commercial zone. There isn't a store for maybe just about a mile down the road to the left. There's Moriarty's Liquors. And then maybe a half a mile to the right, there's a small gas station. Now I'm still walking through the area that was technically the dump. And I'll have to show you a map of where we're going. But I'm feeling very strongly that this right here, the original soil that was here, that where, you know, the garbage had naturally rotted, and that there is the cap. The real worry is that the water is going to flow through here, pick up this super high arsenic level soil, throw it into the wetlands. That's my big concern. And, you know, there's a lot going on down here with septic systems versus non-septic old systems that are emptying the ocean. And the water back behind here is already marked polluted. The water directly behind Island Park on this side. So with all the arsenic that's going in here, if it's already polluted, what is that going to do? Those are protected wetlands. And for me, you know, it's a place where I take my kayak and I go and I visit nature, and it's really nice to see the herons, and they're standing there at their nests, and you know, the blue egrets and the swans and all those other animals. Never mind the fishing. Well, most people in this area make their money off of some type of fishing industry, whether they're a lobsterman or a quahogger, a lot of shellfish around here, or just a regular fisherman. So this is something that they're doing to the soil. So what I ask of you is to start getting involved with me. There was a protest here when they started bringing in the dirt. I understand 50 people showed up with signs that had poison symbols on them, and the Portsmouth Patch has written 3 articles about it, and somebody has made a YouTube video not so dissimilar from this one about it. Actually, where I'm walking, this is really starting to stink, and I gotta be honest, it's really slimy under my feet. And if you look down, I don't know what animal track that is. We are on an island, so we have less large animals, but it's certainly an animal track. And I actually believe I'm getting, oh, it's really gross. I'm starting to sink. I'm getting to the end here. So now I've got a pretty clear idea of how far in and how close they are to the wetlands. Oh, look at this. Not only are they capping it, but they're ripping down all the trees here. Look at that edge. Is that safe? Look at that. They're ripping down trees too. It seems to me that there's something going on. So, well, what do? We start with this video. There's another video on YouTube. And I would encourage you to give Town Hall a call, because it seems to be coming up at the town meetings. There's a lot of yelling and screaming, and it seemed to be that there was an option on the table to press charges on the company that owns this land. But they were too worried about being sued. So, as I don't know much about being sued for being nosy about the poisons they're putting in the soil, and for me, this is 2 streets over from my home, and it's sad that I played in here as a child without knowing that I was playing with arsenic. Interesting. So, call the town of Portsmouth, let your voice be heard. Call channel 10, 12, 6, Fox. I don't care who you talk to. Talk to somebody you know about arsenic. Come down, test the soil if you're a scientist. Do something about this. Because I'll tell you, we're about to ruin a gigantic portion of wetlands, a lot of birds, animals, fish, and all of our backyards. And not to mention my shoes. Thank you. Signing off, Mel, St. Laurent.